All right, so I think most of our participants are in now, and it's 3 p.m. So let's start proper. So thank you everyone for taking the time out to join us today. And welcome to today's webinar, where we'll actually be introducing the 4 ICT career transition programs that we have today. So I'm Chu Tian, an ICT Product Manager at NTUC LearningHub, and I will be your host today. So throughout the webinar, if you have any questions, feel free to enter them into the Q&A box in the control panel below, and we will address them throughout the webinar. And there'll also be a short Q&A session at the end to address any outstanding questions. So this is what our agenda looks like today. So I'll just give you an overview of the career transition program, the key information you need to know. And then later on, each of our subject matter experts will actually be diving deep into the features of each program, which would be the Oracle Java programmer, the data analyst, the digital marketing and graphic design specialist, as well as the cybersecurity associate powered by KPMG role. And the data analyst program, we will also have a trainee coming in to share about his experience in the past program that we have delivered before. So let me just share some key information and features about this SCTP that you may have heard about. So this is actually supported by SkillsFuture Singapore, and it is a train and place program to support mid-career individuals or anyone who's trying to pivot into a different role to acquire industry relevant skill sets so that you can improve your employability and pivot to the new sectors and job roles that you are aiming for. So throughout this program, what happens is that you will actually attend training courses in addition to some career advisory services and employment facilitation. And if you take note of these 3 key points here, number one, our strength is that our program is actually designed in collaboration with leading knowledge partners and subject matter experts, such as AWS, ISC Square, Oracle, KPMG, Microsoft, Isaka, all these brand names and logos that you see below. All right, which means that, at the end of this program, you can be assured that the skill sets and certifications that you have gained are actually in demand in the industry today. And secondly is that in addition to structured training, there will also be several opportunities for you to apply what you have learned on a real-world problem through capstone projects and or on-the-job training. And this will take place in the form of either independent or group work, and for you to apply all the skills that you have learned in a real-world project. And thirdly is that we will actually provide employment facilitation services and career advisory, which I will share more in the next slide. So as I shared throughout the program, in addition to receiving training, you will also receive employment facilitation and career advisory services. So the 4 key features would be that you will have actually an opportunity to go through the Career Resilience Executive Workshop by E2I. You will benefit from our job matching initiatives and regular career fairs and webinars. Some personalized virtual advice on resume writing, interview strategies and techniques for you to go into that new next job, as well as a digital career coach via a Career Agility Hub application throughout your career. Right? This is just the 4 key features, and there will also be more, of course. So actually, we have a very strong track record in delivering placement-based programs. Previously, we also delivered the SG United Skills Program, the SGUS, and we have actually successfully placed our trainees in these companies that you see here. But of course, do note that there is no placement guarantee in this program. But of course, we'll all do our best to help you achieve and pivot into your goal career. And just to share also how this program came to be. So in designing these programs, we actually studied in-demand skills and jobs reported in the market to make sure that the programs are relevant to industry needs. And that at the end of the program, with your skill set, you can actually get a job, right? So according to this APAC Digital Skills Research report published by Amazon last year, there is an increasing trend in adoption of new technologies that has transformed jobs across sectors, offering all of us opportunities to upskill, reskill to pivot to new careers, right? Because there's a demand there. And as an estimate, Singapore will need an additional 1.2 million digital workers by 2025, which is a very sharp 55% increase from today's levels. And so we hope that through this career transition program, designed in partnership with our knowledge partners and subject matter experts, at the end of it, you can actually upgrade your digital skill sets to pivot into emerging IT job roles with strong demand. So some key information, first of all, about the program eligibility, if you're wondering, is that you must be a Singapore citizen and PR, age 21 and above. You must fulfill the minimum entry requirements of each program specified, which I will share in the next slide. And then, of course, you must also attain at least 75% training attendance for each module and pass all associated assessment and projects. So this is because there's very strong funding support from Skills Future Singapore, and there is some criteria there with regards to training and assessments. But these are really just the three key program eligibility criteria that you have to take note of, right? So for the 4 programs that we are currently running, this is just an overview. So just now I shared is that we have the Associate Data Analyst, we have the Oracle Java Programmer, the Digital Marketing and Graphic Design Specialist, as well as the Cybersecurity Associate powered by KPMG program. All right, so these 4 programs currently, if you can take a look, we have actually showed the duration, which is 3.5 months for most of these, except for the Cybersecurity Associate program, as well as the entry requirements. So if you're wondering which program you'll be eligible for, if you have a minimum 9-tech, you can actually apply for the Digital Marketing and Graphic Design Specialist program. If you have a minimum diploma, not necessarily in STEM, you can go for the Oracle Java Programmer. And if you have a minimum diploma in STEM, then you can apply for the Associate Data Analyst and Cybersecurity Associate program. But just take note that for the Cybersecurity Associate program, there is an additional requirement of 2 years experience in network and system administration. And if you're wondering also about, what mode is this class going to be conducted? Do I have to come down to NTUC LearningHub? Will it all be virtual? You can take a look at the column mode. So most of these programs are VLC, which we call virtual live class. So we fully online via Zoom, right? And then for digital marketing and graphic design specialists, it will be hybrid because there are some classes that will require you to come down to NTUC LearningHub's training facilities at Bras Basah to use the computer and software that we will provide. And of course, for the Cybersecurity Associate program, because there is a 3-month on-the-job training component with and at KPMG, likely it will be hybrid as well, depending on your mentor requirements at KPMG. So you can expect that the Cybersecurity Associate program will also be hybrid, even though the training will be virtual. So the class date for the Associate Data Analyst is 28 November to 24th March. That is what we have currently. That's the next cohort. For the other programs, because we have recently just launched the first cohort, we are still pending the next scheduled date, which we will share with you as soon as possible. So if you're interested, you can just register your interest with us, and then we will share that schedule with you once it is confirmed. So do take note that there are limited seats for this program. So if you're interested, you can start to apply as soon as possible. So, looking at the program, now you're wondering, okay, what kind of funding am I eligible for? So this is the funding provided by Skills Future Singapore. If you're a Singapore citizen or PR age 21 years old and above, you'll be eligible for 70% of course fee funding. If you're 40 years old and above, you can actually benefit from 90% of course fee funding. And up to 95% of course fee funding is eligible for either whether you are long-term unemployed individuals, that means unemployed for 6 months or more, or if you are in need of financial assistance, that means you are existing, ComCare or workfare income supplement recipient, or you are a person with disabilities. So that is just the first level of funding. In addition, you can also use your post-secondary education account your PSEA from MOE. You can also use your Skills Future Credit, SFC, as well as Union Training Assistance Program, UTAP. So all these funding can actually be combined to make sure that at the end of, with all these funding schemes, your net payable fee is as low as possible. And this is what the full course fee looks like before funding. So for a 3.5-month program to a 4.5-month program, with official curriculum from our leading global knowledge partners, with our subject matter experts, this is what the course fee actually comes out to be. All right. But of course, the fee payable after 70% funding, after 90% funding, after 95% funding, and this is including 7% GST this year, this is what the debt fee payable comes out to be. But of course, this is before any other funding schemes such as Skills Future Credit, UTAP, and your post-secondary education account that you can actually use. So if you have any queries about this, not to worry, later I will also show a QR code, and you can actually submit your interest to our sales staff, and they can address any further queries you have as well. So what the application process looks like. So I'm just going to walk you quickly through, if you're interested, how you can submit your resume and profile. So if you scan this QR code, you can head to our program landing page. On our program landing page, you'll actually see the 4 IT programs that I just shared at the very top of the page. Click apply now for the program you're interested in, and you'll be led to an external site. And there you can just click on apply now and again, and then you will be led to a form to fill in your details, your profile, and upload your resume. So that is very important. Make sure you upload your resume, because that is what we are going to be referring to when we are assessing your profile. All right. So once you apply once you submit the application, that's when we actually evaluate your CV, evaluate your past education experience, and successful shortlisted applicants will be notified to attend an interview. And after that interview, if you pass the interview, that's where we enroll you into our program, register you, make payment, and commence training and the employment facilitation. All right. So I think that's all for the overview for now. Meanwhile, this QR code is where you can chat with our course consultants for any more specific queries that you have. If not, I will just actually hand it over to our next speaker, who is going to be sharing more about the Oracle Java Programmer program. So over to you, Puzi.
Thank you, Chuchen. Thank you for the introduction, and also thank you to everyone for taking the time to come for this program. So let me just share my screen. Okay. Chuchen, can you help to make me the co-host?
Sure.
Okay.
Oh, you're already the co-host, yeah.
Yep, got it. Okay, can you see my screen?
Yes, I can see your screen.
Okay, let me just put it on the... Okay.
Great.
Let me just hide my presenter mode. Okay. Okay, thank you, everyone. Okay, I'm just going to run through very quickly the Oracle Java Programming course for the next 10 to 15 minutes before I hand over to my next colleague. So we are targeting to start this program somewhere in mid-December. So we're looking at probably 1 or 2 cohort, depending on the enrollment numbers. But this is a program that, as what Chuchen mentioned, is currently being sponsored and subsidized by SSG. So first question, of course, why Java? Why not Python? Why not any other programming language? So basically, Java is the most popular development platform used by a lot of big enterprises. So as you can see, 97% of enterprise desktop runs on Java. So it is also the number 1 choice for developer. I'll show you some statistic later on. And it is also heavily adopted by TV devices, mobile phones. And as you can see in the next slide, 83% of application platform is actually running on Java. So Java remains the most popular application platform, I think, for the past maybe 10 to 15 years already. Okay, so Java is also has very wide applications, as you can see, from web development, gaming, desktop application, education, 3D graphics, database, even data analytics. So Java has very wide application, and it actually has a very good standing. In fact, it is #1 rated for analytics, for big data, for DevOps, for data management, for mobile devices, chatbots, and social media, and also continuous integration of development tools. So you can see that Java remains an important application platform, widely used, and is an important skill set to master, so that you can increase your employment opportunities for those who wants to pivot to IT job roles. So for software engineer with Java, these are the different tech roles that you can adopt, from web developer from the front end, system engineer, mobile developer, QA and testing, tech support, and also data analytics. So in terms of your career path, so you can come in as a junior Java developer with a salary range between 40 to 90K a year. And then you can advance to Java developer at a mid-level range. And then you can also, after a few years of experience, become a senior level, what they call senior Java developer or a lead developer. Okay, you can earn up to 200K. Okay, so what does a Java developer do? So most, as you can see in this screen, these are some of the common roles and responsibilities that they do. They do a lot of gathering of information and needs from the business analysts. They understand the stakeholders' requirement, and then they develop the code to develop a program, and then they deploy, test it, and then improve on it, and also manage and maintain the software application itself. So for our Oracle Java programmer course, I think Chichen has mentioned how much does it cost. So I think I will just skip this very quickly. I think if those who wants to know more about the costing, you can visit our website, and you can also speak to our cost consultant based on your age range and what are the subsidies available for you, because it differs from individuals to individuals. Okay, as far as the program is concerned, this is the whole program in a nutshell. It's a 30 days training program. So you start off by doing the front end portion, which is the intro to programming and web development using HTML5, JavaScript, and CSS. And then we do a 5-day capstone to help you internalize and practice whatever you learn in web development and intro to programming. And then you proceed to do database fundamentals, which is a 5-day program. Okay, and then you do 2 Java SE programming. SE stands for Standard Edition. There are basically 3 different types of edition for Java: the SE, EE, which is the Enterprise Edition, and also ME, which is the Micro Edition for mobile development. But for this course, we will use the most popular one, which is the Standard Edition. For Programming 1 and Programming 2, we'll be using both the official Oracle course curriculum for this one. And for both, there are capstone projects that can help you to do more practice. So coding requires a lot of practice for you to internalize some of these programming skills that you learn. And then we will finish up with doing the Spring Boot fundamentals, which is a 10 days program. So Spring Boot basically introduces you to a framework on how you want to do your application development using what they call the Spring Boot framework, which is becoming more and more popular because it makes application development easier and faster and more productive. And then we will finish off by doing a summative capstone for 10 days. So the whole idea of the capstone is that you will actually develop a project a turnkey project to do an application development of a particular project. So you can use that as your portfolio when you are actually meeting up with your potential employer. So you can show them, okay, I've gone through this program and this is my output. This is my what I'm able to do. So basically, usually employer would like to see evidence of your skills. So this is the evidence that you are able to do a full turnkey application development projects within the 30 days of your training. Okay. So, okay, I have some breakdown of this. What are the courses, things that you will learn for each of these so-called program. Okay, I just going through very quickly. So this will be for 5 days, and then you have a capstone, and then you learn database, both SQL and no SQL language, and then you do your Java SE. Okay, this is an entry-level course for programmers, those who are novice beginners. And then you do that for another 10 days of capstone, followed by Java SE2, which is also another 5 days. And then you do a Spring Boot. As I mentioned, Spring Boot helps you develop and build application quickly. And then lastly, you do project work like this. So this is a sample of the project that was done by our previous cohorts. So did a car rental company web development, e-commerce platform. So with this, these are some examples of what they did. It's a full-fledged running application, which is linked to a database. So they use a Heroku database when they are doing their project. So I think I come to the end of my presentation. So I will just stop sharing here. So if there's any questions, maybe you can post it on the Q&A, and then I will just hand over to the next speaker.
Thanks, Puzi. So I think up next we will have the data analyst program. So over to you, Edmund.
Hi, thank you so much, Chu Chen, for handing over to me. Hi, I'm actually the SGUS ex-graduate from the Associate Data Analyst as well. I'm here to share with you my experiences of how I went through the program, which is now the SCTP lah. Why did I decided to take up the program back then? Okay, but before that, coming to NTUC LearningHub, I was quite interested in data analytics, and to know that data analysis can actually help me boost in my decision-making skills. So in the late 2020, around in November, I was looking to take up some upskilling course to boost my CV lah. Yeah, I actually took up some Microsoft courses on my own, and also some ICDL data analytics to begin with, and also some courses, some data analytics courses with NTUC LearningHub lah. It was then when NTUC have a upskilling course called the SGUS SG United Skills Program. It was a nine months course lah, to be honest. But I decided to take that because I was still trying to find out what was my career path like. I decided to immerse myself in that 9 months of data analytics program lah, to see what my career path leads me to. Then some people might ask, why do you decide to make that career switch, right? I was looking to do a bit something different from my previous jobs lah. I was previously from the creative industry in the architecture and the product environment. I was doing a lot of conceptualizations of interior products such as the furniture and the other placement of products and shipping of products and logistics and all that stuff lah. I realized that I reached a peak and I wanted to do something else lah. So that's why I started to look elsewhere for my next journey. That's why I stumbled upon data analytics lah. Yeah. So if you were to ask me how was the program, okay, the program, as I mentioned earlier, it was a 9 months program when it first started. For me, 9 months was quite a comfortable learning phase as it was all online. I was able to appreciate learning this new way of learning things online. I learned the basics of data science, the origins and the various different courses that's related to the data analytics, and also the SQL data management program and various mathematics and science elements to it. Of course, we also learn data visualization software such as Microsoft Excel to perform simple visualization. Of course, there will be advanced like Power BI to do data visualization, as well as learning some programming language such as Python to create data analytics, to create some machine learning and data visualization. So what are the program, right, inside this SGS, which is now SCTP? There were step-by-step progression from the basic course all the way to the advanced level in the curriculum for the associate data analyst program. Even though they were all online virtual lessons, we were able to form peer support groups to support one another when the going gets tough. There were also career coaching help, and also to assist in job hunting opportunities when we completed that whole 9 months program. Overall, I mean, we discussed with my cohort mates, we had a lot of fun learning from the trainer. We had a lot of fun and laughter, and all the experiences were built up throughout the 9 months. And the trainer was quite professional. NTUC LearningHub has gone through some extensive research and forming up all this curriculum together. I want to thank them for that. Yeah. So what are the things that we learned after going through these 9 months? Okay, I was able to perform this data source collection as part of the associate data analyst program. I was able to do this, what I call the ETL. ETL is the extract, transform, and loading of the data. So what that means is you just put one data to another process to do something for you. In the case, right, to do some data analysis, to do cleaning, to do all this porting of Excel to the data visualization software or into the Python programming to do the data visualization. So with that given tools, right, you're able to make that, to churn out all this data analysis to do what to do, make better informed decisions to solve complex problems that we face every day in life, even in my own life as well. I was able to present some better data driven decisions to various stakeholders, and also to have some good quality, meaningful conversations with my friends and family, and that was quite a plus point for me. Yeah. So how, as you know, that I'm already employed with NTUC LearningHub after I completed the 9 months program. So this was a very interesting journey. So I was given this opportunity to join NTUC LearningHub, having gone through the SGUS program with them. I was hired as a project manager to manage the ICT courses under the data analytics courses. Even though I'm not a full-fledged data analyst per se, but the skills that I went through and finished all the courses was an excellent investment, as the skills that was taught to me was best used to make decisions that I encounter every day. Yeah, so that's the whole experience I had as a SGUS trainee. But I'll now share with you my slides for the SCTP program, which is a much shorter program as what I went through the last time. All right, so bear with me. I'm trying to share my slides. Hopefully you can see them. Yeah, okay. So this is the SCTP program for the Associate Data Analyst program. Okay, I'm also the product manager for this program as well. This program, okay, I will just briefly touch on things. What is this SCTP, the Skills Career Transition Program, all about? Okay, let me just stop my video so that I can let you see the slides. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So I'm going to explain to you what is this SCTP. I think my colleagues have already explained to you. I explained more of the admin matters and the frequently asked questions. Okay. My program, right, for the Associate Data Analyst program, okay, is a short program, it's not a long program, okay, to help Singaporeans and PRs to be competent for those job-ready roles. So our program structure is such that we teach relevant skills to help you to achieve deep proficiency of the skills. How does it work is that you go through a structured training of 3.5 months. Last time it was a 9 months program for me. Now you have it's a very compressed short timing for you, 3.5 months. How it goes that you learn a few skills, then after that you have a capstone in between. Yeah, I will explain all the capstone project. The capstone project is allow you to do up your portfolio, to do a solo project on your own, to do the data analyst project to showcase to the trainer and your fellow coursemate, okay? And all this will be done by virtual training. You'll be instructed, led face-to-face. It will be self-paced e-learning, so that you will work under your own personal capstone, under the project of your guidance of your mentors and industry partners. Most of the courses we have, right, is modular. I will show that in the next slide. Yeah. So as you can see that we have actually studied the demand, jobs, and skills, right? What are the top 10 digital skills that is needed by the employers, of which I can see how here in red color boxes, okay? Data analysis, 40%, AI and machining, 20%, and data-driven decision-making skills at 32%. So these are the 3 of the top 10 skills that is needed by the employers. It was done 2 years ago, but it's still relevant today. Then you might ask me, hey, Emma, why do you need to study data analytics? Well, there are many benefits to studying data analytics. Well, you can actually use data analytics to personalize your customer experience, using data to make a decision what customer needs and wants are, which is much more accurate. You will also do business, you make better business decision making, and also you will streamline operation. Let's say you have very complex things in your office or anything, you just want to streamline, you can actually use data analytics to help you analyze things, what needs to cut down, what needs to increase, that kind of thing. They also mitigate risk and handle setbacks and enhance security, using data that you come in to do things that you might want to reduce your risk or increase security. Yeah, these are all things. All right. Yeah, but why study data analytics? I think a lot of articles have really shown that data has helped big companies to move forward using big data volumes in ingesting and storing. Data is the new currency of today, and many companies have realized that. And as you can see that year after year, many companies are investing in data analysts and also data structures as well to keep data in together, right? And what about the jobs demand? According to the World Economic Forum in October 2020, roles are already growing in the demand, including data analysts and scientists, AI and machine learning specialists, and robotics engineer. So as you can see in the diagram here, okay, growing job demands. In the first one is data analysts and scientists, always in demand. Yeah. So it says by 2025, new jobs will emerge and others will be displaced in the shift and division of labor between humans and machines. Yeah. I provided a link there, if you want to take a look. Okay, so I won't go through all this. Okay, as you know that my program here is 3.5 months. Yeah, quite a fortunate batch because mine was previously was a 9 months long course. Yeah. So the eligibility for this course is Singapore citizens and PR, job seekers age 21 and above. Yeah, I believe the SCTP funding components has been brief, so I just briefly go through, not to bore you further. Okay, as you know that my course program is $18,000 full course fee, and this is without the full funding. But what is the criteria to go through the funding? You must at least go through at least 75% attendance for each course and capstone, sit and pass all prescribed assessment and capstone projects. Okay, depending on your age group, okay, if you're age 25 and 21 and above, right, you get 70% SSG funding. Okay, you pay this price, all right. And if you are if you are above age 40 and above, right, for Singaporeans, 40 years old and above, right, you qualify for 90% of the funding, which is this price. For those who have, we have 95% SSG funding for disability and long-term unemployability. We assess on a case-by-case basis. So that's the funding criteria. Okay, so these are the modules. There are 13 modules in total. It's similar what I did in the 9 months program. Okay, but now it's compressed to the 3.5 months duration. It's much more of an express duration, as you can see. Okay, there are 13 modules. I will explain briefly. The course is really shown here with GST and the duration as well. Okay, you go through modules such as the basics of data science. They will teach you all the history, how data science come about. Then after that, right, you will go through using data analytics using Microsoft Excel, where they teach you how to use Microsoft Excel to do simple data analytics. If you have never done data analytics like charts and pivot charts and Power Query before, and this is where you will get to learn. After that, right, you will get to have a Capstone 1 project, and you will get to use your tools that you learn in Microsoft Excel to do your data story dashboard and your data visualization. You can pick any of the topics. Then next you have the e-learning phase, and also you will get to learn SQL, Microsoft database. Okay, this is a database software. You learn about querying data from the database, from the data sets you'll be learning. You'll be taught learn how to scrape data and everything to put it into the database and get the query up. And then you have a Capstone 2 project that is using relational database and MS Excel dashboard, which is combination of using Excel and SQL to do your Capstone 2 project. Yeah, I did this before, so it's doable. Okay, and after that, right, you'll be doing a bit of mathematics and statistics for data science. Okay, you will learn how math and science are used in data analysis. Why is it important to have this knowledge as well? Okay, and you followed by statistics for data science and business analysis, where you learn more about how statistics really influence in the decisions that we make. Okay. And also for data visualization and analytics using Power BI. This is where we get to use Microsoft very powerful data visualization tool. This is for data analysts. And it's one of the most used software in the world today. Okay, after which you do your Capstone 3 project using Power BI interactive dashboard to do your project. Come to the last few portions of it. This is it's like climbing the mountain or going up to the hill. Okay, you will learn programming Python 3 programming. Okay, from Code Academy. This is an e-learning phase together with the trainer as well. So it's a mixture. So the trainer will teach you how to do the Python 3 Python programming, and also you do on your own those programming exercises via e-learning as well. And of course, after which you will learn how to use Python, right, to create data analytics and creating dashboards, and also learn how to build a machine learning model. So that means you build some sort of AI to help you to churn out the data analytics and the visualization. Upon which there will be a final capstone for all the projects. That means you'll be tested how to use Python as a programming language to create data analysis by doing performing the data cleaning through Python, and also doing all the data visualization and analytics using programming, not using Excel or Power BI, strictly programming. So it's very interesting. Yeah. Okay. Now I just turn on my video, and yeah, I've come to the end of my presentation. These are the 13 modules that you go through. Okay, once you go through all these, each of the modules, right, I need to inform you each of the modules, if you complete and pass the assessment and sit through all the attendance, right, you'll be granted a certificate. Most of the certificate is also open verifiable. Okay, so what that means, if you manage to complete all 13 certificates, you will be rewarded with a final certificate. So that's 14 certificates. The final certificate will be labeled on the SCTP Associate Data Analyst Certificate of Completion. That's the final one. So 13 plus 1. 13 plus 1, you get 14 certificates. Okay, so there's an achievement if you complete the Associate Data Analyst program under the SCTP program. I have completed my 9 months SGUS Associate Data Analyst program. I have 14 certificates. Yeah, so this is a 3.5 months program. So yeah, I come to the end of my presentation. I hope that my sharing as a trainee will help you to see what your career path is like. I may not be a data analyst, but I am doing something that is related to data analyst job as well. So I come to the end of my presentation. Okay, I hand over to the host. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Edmund. All right, so thanks for the insights. I think from your presentation, there are some questions as well, which we will address. I think we can address throughout using the chat box, and then later at the end, if there's anything outstanding. Without further ado, let me hand it over to our next speaker. So up next, we will have the Digital Marketing and Graphic Design Specialist Program. Over to you, Wilson.
Hi, thank you. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, let me share my slides now. Hold on there. Are you able to see my slides, teacher?
Yes, I can see your slide.
Thank you.
It's in presenter view currently for this.
Is it still in presenter view?
You try again.
That's fine. Okay, is it in presenter view now?
Good. Yeah, it's slideshow now. Good.
Okay, thank you. Okay,
Yes.
good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for coming and joining us in this webinar. I'm Wilson. I take care of the SCTP Digital Marketing and Graphic Design Specialist Program. So, if you look at the slides itself, we are planning to start the program on the 3rd December. It would be a part-time basis and estimated to be 6 months program. Part-time meaning we will have evening and weekend classes. One of the reason is because a lot of the trainees or the learners that we have met, they are requesting for night classes, which is the evening or the weekend class, because most of them are working or they hope to work part-time and study part-time. So it's part of their upskilling as well as reskilling or transition of their career. So what is digital marketing and graphic design specialist program all about? Okay, right. And if you look at the slides itself, okay, sorry. Okay, if you look at the slides itself, you will see that digital marketing and graphic design specialist, in fact, there are 2 job roles. So what is digital marketing and what is graphic design specialist, and why are they connected to this course? So basically, digital marketing and graphic design, they are interconnected and they support each other. Digital marketing is more of the forefront, whereas graphic design is basically the back support, because whatever you want to produce to bring attention to a business, you need somehow a support visually or how you can do it in terms of graphic design. So what does digital marketing do? So basically, digital marketing is about bringing attention to a business offering, whether it's going to be you're selling some goods or you are promoting some campaigns or events. So digital marketing, it actually helps to promote brand, to connect potential customer, engage them in using the internet and other forms of digital communication. If you can see below the slide itself, I do have include what are the things that digital marketing do. Examples like email, social media, web-based advertising, which include text, multimedia, things like what you have in right now. We do have WhatsApp, Telegram, even Instagram, right? So such are the digital marketing or the social media aspect of it, where if you are good in writing, if you are good in communication, if you take up this course, you may want to look into the digital marketing sides of it as an aspect as your next career. And if you are good in visual, for example, what does graphic designer do? In fact, graphic design is a career where creative people who enjoy art, technology, and communication, and they are good in using visual to communicate. So digital marketing and graphic design actually goes hand in hand. And graphic design, what do they do? For example, they design logo, they create interface where what you see over here, for example, slides, website, these are all done by the graphic designer, creating books, packaging. So it actually combines and it works well along with digital marketing where they promote the product itself. So if you look at the job role itself, if you finish this course, what can you do? You can either become a digital marketer or you are going to do reskilling, upskilling. So this is also a course where you can actually learn new skill, because as a marketer, you may not be a digital person. So that's where you come in to learn all the latest technology to upgrade your skill or to reskill. So the next job role you can look at could be a designer or a social media expert, creative media in the line of as an agency, or even if you are good in selling, then you could look into this course where you can learn about social selling, about live streaming, how you can sell through live streaming as well. So apart from this, in the whole course itself, you can also become a content creator. So what does content creator do? They can either develop content such as video, you have YouTube, you have TikTok. So that is also part of content creator. Or you can also be a content creator where you actually design, you develop content such as publication, such as a product you want to describe about. So these are content creator, right? Or you can either go into e-commerce retail sector where you will learn about photography, how you edit the photo, how you do e-commerce and help to sell through live streaming. And other job roles could be multimedia or graphic designer. So what are the prerequisites? We are basically looking at someone who is very keen in design, passionate about marketing, passionate about graphic and creative stuff. So it could be from ITE, diploma, or even the university. So someone who has passion for design. Because I myself started as an ITE person, then I quit my job. Then I restart again. I went and took up my diploma course in NAFA graphic design sometime way back, and eventually I moved on to design for the last 20 years. So I will be in the media for 20 years before I joined LearningHub. So if you look at the digital marketing and graphic design, digital marketing is one of the top demand skill, in fact, by employer, and also web design, graphic design. So these are the top design skill, in fact, where not only you locally we are looking for in the company, but globally, if you look at through LinkedIn, digital marketer is also the top 10, and graphic designer is also the top 10 look after, where globally people are looking for. So this role itself, not only you can work in Singapore, but in fact you can work globally or even remotely. If you look at it itself, COVID has actually changed the whole world, how we do business, how we actually learn. So in fact, if you look at it this way, digital marketer or graphic design, you no longer have to just work in a company. I have friends who has been a creative art director and they lost a job, but somehow they reskill. Now they are working remotely. They work in Singapore at home. The company is in Australia, the client is China or even America. So sometimes when he traveled to Malaysia, he stayed there for 2 weeks holiday, yet he worked remotely. So these are things that is changing, and one of the best, I would say, job, if you're looking at where you can work remotely, you can work from home, would be digital marketing or graphic design specialist. Right. So if you look at it itself, the salary as a digital marketer, an average is about 66,000 per year for average salary. And this is average, it depends on the number of years of experience. And if you look at the senior side, it could be from 80,000 and above, right? Whether you're working for an agency or you're working for a local company. So such similar profession, in fact, after you graduate, you can either become a marketing manager or content marketer. So you look at it as the marketing manager, an average salary with 3 to 5 year experience will probably comes up to about 5,000 per month salary, right? If you look at content marketer, it could be 4,000. So it range. Some people would, after throughout the course, they would probably take up, maybe I like writing, so I'm just be happy to be a content writer as a freelancer, right? So for graphic design itself, an estimate about 76,000 annual salary, right? And no, sorry, this is the marketing that is estimated to 5 years change. The next 5 years is 16% growth as in salary for an average over the next 5 years, right? And for graphic design, the basic salary base is about with a 3-year experience, 2 to 3 year experience onward to 5 years, it could be range from 64,000, right, to even 80,000 as a senior graphic designer or art director position, right? And if you look at the profession itself, designer, there's about over 1,000 opening since we speak right now. That was like last week. If you look at Indeed.com website, there's about 3,000 work opening. Some could be freelancing, where you can work remotely, or you are working for a company. And the almost same job role, similar profession as a digital designer. Average pay is about $4,000 to $5,000. So the growth itself, we are looking at is about 25%, because whatever we do right now as a graphic designer, visual is very important. Whether you're going to do a video, you're going to do up an EDM, that's how you actually visually capture your audience. So the job role itself has increasingly grown compared to the last 5 to 10 years ago. Right, so what is this course about? And in fact, if you look at it, we have 10 modules. So for cohort 1, we are looking at starting on the 3rd of December, and estimated time is about 6 months, because we are doing evening class. So part-time, what we do is evening class is about 7 to 10 p.m. on average. And then weekends could be either a Saturday or Saturday and Sunday. So it depends on the schedule, which we should be able to get it out in 1 to 2 weeks time from now. And look at the 10 module itself. We are starting with visual, I would say, visual communication first, because it is important how to create this visual. For example, photography, Photoshop, Illustrator, that actually helps you to do layout design. So eventually, when you go into video, then we talk about the capstone or project that will help you to develop your portfolio. After that, we are looking to social media, because after you know how to develop your visual, do your layout, then we talk about social media, digital marketing, how we actually promote them online. So we have industrial expert who will be there to guide you, to be your mentor, and to help you with your portfolio. Thereafter, the assessment, which is the end of the module itself on the Capstone 2 project. So all in all, we are here to help you to develop your skill sets into either you want to be a graphic designer or digital marketer, or become both. As a business person, you need to do both, right? So the next thing I'm going to share with you is the funding itself. If you look at the original cost, it's 17,980, but after, if that is funding itself, if you are 70, if you are 21 years and above, below 40 years, 70% funding is about 5,000 plus, and 40 years and above, you're looking at about 1,007, but after the GST, you probably be 2,175. So if you have further inquiries or interest in digital marketing and graphic design, feel free to email us. And I think that's all for me for today. Thank you for listening in. And I hand back to Chu Chen.
Thanks, Wilson.
Good.
Great. So I think similarly after your presentation, there are some questions in the Q&A box regarding your program that you can answer. Without further ado, let's move on to our next program, the Cybersecurity Associate powered by KPMG program. Over to you, James. Yep, you can see your screen.
Hey, hi. So good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for joining our webinar. So I'm James, taking charge of the cybersecurity program. So I just wanted to start off by sharing with you the cybersecurity landscape in Singapore. And this is actually compiled by CSA for the year of 2021. So as you can see from the diagram here, cyber threats such as ransomware attacks, phishing campaigns, and data breaches continue to affect companies and remain a key concern. Phishing attacks targeting users of internet banking services continue to rise, culminating in a series of high-profile phishing scams, such as OCBC Bank, as you all can recall, sometime late last year. So you can see that there is almost a 50% increase in crimes in Singapore, where out of the crimes in Singapore, almost half of them is under cybercrime. There are more cases of ransomware. More and more computers are infected with malicious programs on a daily basis. And last but not least, there are numerous phishing URLs, right? So basically to improve the security posture in Singapore, of course, the government is putting a lot of efforts into driving what we know as cybersecurity, right? So this program came about because there is definitely a talent shortage in Singapore, and we wanted to create and develop a program by partnering with KPMG, not just to enhance your knowledge and skill sets in theory, but also in terms of practical performance. We have the OJT at KPMG office, where you'll be able to hands-on and actually tackle some of the real-life cybersecurity projects. Okay. So as you can see, the demand for cybersecurity is relatively high in Singapore. Right now, cybersecurity is the buzzword. And so why should you join this program, right? So if you look at the news today, you see that definitely there's a skill shortage in cybersecurity. We have some of our partners like ISC Square, which also found in Asia Pacific, not just Singapore. There is a workforce gap of almost 1.4 million. So in terms of training and certifications, there is a need for Singaporeans to also be aware and to also upskill and reskill in this area. And this is just some of the companies that are hiring for cybersecurity job roles, right? So for this program, we have actually ran a cohort under SGUS for the similar program. It was 6 months previously. Now it is 4.5 months. And the minimum prerequisite is you need to have minimally 2 years of networking experience. So we are looking for those who are currently working or have worked before as a IT support technician, in system network or security administrator. If this skill set is important because to move to the cybersecurity industry, this is the minimum fundamental background that we are looking for. So this is a 4.5 months structured training. So the first 1.5 months will be virtual classroom trainings, followed by 3 months of OJT or the job training. So during the OJT, there will be a mentor that will be assigned to you. And depending on your level of experience, your background, KPMG will onboard you and move you to or assign you a role in a more technical or less technical role within their cybersecurity department. And this is a quick snapshot of the kind of program that you will be expecting. So we'll be starting off with network and security essentials. Essentially, this will be from CompTIA, where you learn how to configure, maintain network devices. You also learn how to implement network security standards and protocols. And And after that, we will also introduce you to Azure fundamentals, followed by AWS, Cloud Practitioner. And then we have a series of ISACA courses. The first one, notably, is CISA, which is one of the top 5 cybersecurity certification we did in the cybersecurity world. So this will give you a very good understanding of information system auditing, followed by series. Series is will give you the understanding on enterprise IT risks. And then we have the CG, also under ISACA, which is more on IT governance. And last but not least, there's the CSSP. So CSSP is perhaps one of the renowned cybersecurity certifications recognized globally. Of course, all the ISACA and ISC Square courses that you undergo, it will there will be internal assessment, and the assessment is aligned fully to the framework and the requirements of the external exams that's held by the two vendors, ISC Square and ISACA. And just to take note that the courses that we provide will have certified trainers accredited by the brand or the vendor themselves. Also to take note that all these courses, the external exam is separately on your own. We will provide the official courseware and the labs. However, for the exam portion, this is not funded, and if you want, you need to take it on your own. So after the 1.5 months of virtual classroom trainings that you saw earlier on, you will undergo a on-the-job training for 3 months at KPMG office. So KPMG, they now have a office somewhere in the CBD area. So depending on the team that you assign and depending on the requirements of the project that you're assigned, it may be a face-to-face or it may be a virtual setting. Yeah. So for the 3 months, you expect to have a mentor who will guide you, will lead you. And also during these 3 months, it will be very crucial for you to, for you to showcase your skill sets that you have learned in the first 1.5 months of training, and for them to assess your performance as well as your fit for the organization. Yeah. So depending on, as I mentioned, depending on your background, if let's say you have you were previously in a more technical role, they could assign you to a cybersecurity role, like for example, forensic investigator, right? Or if you have previously done cloud, then they would have assigned you to cloud security. Yeah. So in our last SGS program, I think about half of the cohort has been offered a job, but not necessarily all of them have taken the job, right? Of course, what happens if, let's say, you do not get a job with KPMG? So, of course, there are other companies that I shared earlier that is looking for cybersecurity talent. As you guys know, this year alone, there has been, I think, at least a handful of cybersecurity events like Black Hat, Cloud Asia Expo, where so there is an ongoing recruitment for cybersecurity talent in Singapore, and this is just to show you the different cybersecurity job roles and the domains that you can pursue after taking on this program. If you are into more of a less technical, you can go into governance, risk and control. If you're interested in pen tests, right, there is a vulnerability assessment and penetration testing pathway. Security operations SOC is something that is mostly required. It's like 24/7 monitoring. And then, of course, we have forensics, incident response, threat analysis. And last but not least is security design and engineering, which is more of at a architecture advanced kind of job role. Yeah. And I just want to leave this last page to share with everyone that we had a trainee who successfully got placed with KPMG, and notably that he had no prior strong IT experience, but he has worked hard and put in a lot of effort to do the studies and the assignments that's given to him during the virtual classroom trainings, as well as on the job training with KPMG. He has also done well in communicating and interacting with his fellow colleagues, and thus he was hired by KPMG. So this is just a feedback that Kevin is wanted to share with all of you. Point to note is this program is like a marathon. So in this 4.5 months, the expectation is high. It will not be easy, especially if you have no networking experience or you have no cybersecurity experience. You need to have the right attitude and a lot of endurance, right? So this program will be more it's kind of holistic because we marry both theory as well as practical hands-on exercise. Yeah. So I've come to the end of the presentation. Chu Chin, yep, you can take over.
Thanks, James. Okay, let me just share my screen. So I think let's move on to the Q&A. I think most of us have actually been addressing the questions in the Q&A box all this time. So let's say if you have any further questions or any further queries that are very specific to your individual, maybe you're asking about eligibility or funding or experience, you can actually scan on this QR code. So this will actually lead you to a form where you can fill in your course details, your contact details, and our course consultants will contact you to address any outstanding queries that you have. All right, so if not, actually I'm going to put maybe someone can help me to put the SCTP landing page in the chat. So we'll put the URL in the chat box, and from there you can actually read more about these specific programs that you have heard about today to submit your application. Yeah, let me just, thanks, James. All right, so the landing page to the SCTP program has just been posted onto the chat box. So if you check that and click on that, actually you'll be led to the 4 programs that we introduced today. So I think we have one question from anonymous attendee. Is this challenging to take? Is this course going to be challenging and have only EE degree? So not necessarily. I think if as long as you meet the minimum eligibility criteria, you will already be a good candidate. But of course, one thing to note is, I think just now James also shared from prior experience is that it's important to really commit to this program and complete all the tasks that's involved. James, do you want to answer this question as well?
Yeah, good question. I think for the cybersecurity, if you're talking about cybersecurity program, if you have a electrical engineering degree, we can still look into your profile, and then we can do an interview. And most importantly, I think you must have the commitment, commitment to finish through this program, because cybersecurity concepts it's not that difficult to understand or not too difficult to learn. It's just that you need to put efforts into learning this skill if you do not have.
Thanks. Another anonymous as attendee has asked, please advise which courses or jobs will enable me to be a freelance worker or project-based job, since I'm not keen on a 9 to 6 fixed working hours or being stuck in the company. So I think across the 4 programs that we've introduced today, they typically have quite standard working hours, except for probably digital marketing and graphic design specialist. I think just now Wilson, when he was presenting about the program, he shared that actually this, with the skill sets from this course, there are a lot more opportunities if you want to do like freelance work, or if you want to produce a content creator. So if you're looking at these 4 programs, likely the digital marketing and graphic design specialist is that.
Hi, Chu Chen. Maybe I take that because in fact, it will depend on your passion, what you want to do, because part-time freelance, digital marketing, or graphic design is one of the part-time work that you can do or freelance, because for example, as a photographer, you can take photo and submit to a lot of stock images platform, and you can earn passive income. So for part-time, you can do e-commerce or live streaming. That is also part of your job that if you're keen at. So end of the day, to switch career, it depends on what is your passion, what you want to do, rather than think about the hours itself. What is the job or career that will bring you more of a lasting a lifetime career that you will enjoy working on, rather than like you say, 8 to 5 job that you are not interested in. Yeah. Thank you.
Thanks, Wilson. Yeah, I hope that answered the question. Okay, is there from the product managers, is there anything else you guys would like to raise? Okay, so sorry, just another new question just came in from Kim Xiong. Can share the estimated date of each course. So I think the data in this program already shared. The next cohort actually starts in 28 November. So actually, if you would like to be contacted when the new dates of the course come out, what you have to do is scan this QR code and submit your interest. So let us know which program you are looking into, so then we can give you the necessary information. Okay, another attendee has asked, can you advise the passing rate for such courses? Passing rate. So if you're referring to the assessment, there is the small assessments throughout the course. The passing rate is actually 100%. All right, that is part of the Skills Future funding criteria. But not to worry, throughout the course, our trainers will actually be guiding you and helping you to make sure that we help assess your capabilities accurately. So let's say you don't pass the assessment on the first try, not to worry, there is also reassessment opportunities. So I hope that answered the question. All right, James, there's one question on the cybersecurity program. How can I prepare for the interview, given that I'm interested in the cybersecurity program, but I'm from a non-STEM background and non-technical job, but have some basic programming experience in JavaScript?
Hey, thanks for asking this question. In fact, if you have basic programming experience in JavaScript, I think it's pretty good. You have some IT knowledge. But of course, I think if you are really interested in wanting to go into the cybersecurity path, you should also consider taking some of the fundamental courses that we do offer, such as CompTIA Network Plus, CompTIA Security Plus, which these 2 modules will also be part of this SCTP program. Yeah. So no worries, give it a try. Maybe you can submit your interest and then we can interview you. And then through the interview, we can find out more about your background, and you can also share what's your passion and what's your direction that you want to gear towards.
So I think we have another attendee who's asking about the PC and tool needed for the Java programmer course. So I believe it's just a Windows computer that we are looking at. With regards to the specific criteria, probably you can submit your inquiry and then we can get back to you on the specifics. I think we're definitely looking at a Windows OS of a certain capabilities, but if you would like to find out the specific details, just scan the QR code later on, and then we can get back to you. So another anonymous attendee has asked for the link to the 1.5 month cybersecurity module schedule. So as shared, do either submit your interest with this QR code or apply to the program, and then after we will actually share the schedule with you.
I've actually answered the question. I've sent the link directly to the person.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, so there is a question in the chat box as well. Actually, there are a few questions in the chat box. So let me just make sure we don't miss out on any. Okay, one question from Shriram is there a training allowance provided for OJT, for the on-the-job training? So unfortunately, no, there is no training allowance for that component. And then Yong Sung has also asked whether or not the SGUS applicant can take SCTP. So if you have already taken the SGUS, the SG United Skills Program before, you still can take the SCTP. So you will still be eligible. But of course, let's say if you have taken a similar career transition program like the SGUS, then what we want to find out from you is likely actually what is the goal that you are, what is the end career role that you are going for, and why the previous SGS program didn't quite work out for you in terms of helping you achieve that goal, so then we can make sure that the SCTP you're interested in actually fits your interests and goals too. So Yong Sung has also asked the question, will there be any penalties if you registered for the course but did not complete fully? So for this one, you can submit your inquiry to us via this form, and we will actually get back to you. So as shared just now is that you have to fulfill the minimum attendance and assessment requirement for the funding for you to be eligible for the funding. So let's say you don't fulfill that, either minimum 75% attendance and pass the assessment of 100%, then yes, there could be penalties. But let's say if you exit the program due to, I think it depends. Probably if you have any specific reasons you are looking at coming up, maybe you can submit your inquiry to us. Yeah, it's probably on a case-by-case basis. Yeah, Wilson, you wanted to answer one question?
Sorry, I wanted to ask, answer the digital marketing schedule. At this moment, I only know the start date is on the 3rd and 4th of December, and the following digital marketing dates I do not have at the moment because my trainer will be submitting and confirmed by this week. So confirmed starting date is on the 3rd and 4th of December, which is weekend. So the first 2 days will be focusing on photography, where you will learn about how to take photo, how to use photo for products and stuff like that. So after that, you will learn about how to edit photography through Photoshop and Illustrator. And thereafter, you will have physical class for Premiere as well as After Effects. So that will be in Bras Basah NTUC LearningHub. So the remaining digital marketing classes will be held in the evening. Right. How many lessons for digital marketing per week? I'm looking at digital marketing per week. If you're on evening class, there will be 3 evening and 1 weekend. If you're totally on weekend class, then you'll be on Saturday and Sunday. So for digital marketing itself, not the graphic design, because digital marketing will be mainly on a virtual live class. So it will be about 3 nights, most of the 3 nights or 4 nights a week, right? Then 1 Saturday, full day BLC. So I hope that answers your queries on digital marketing.
Yeah, so in addition to that, I think the other programs as well. So this is a relatively intense program. It's condensed to make sure that you can quickly gain the necessary skill sets and transition into your next role. So there aren't a lot of gaps or days without classes. So for example, full-time, we are looking at 4 to 5 training days per week. Whereas, of course, if it's part-time, then it's more scattered. We are looking at 2 to 3 weekday nights and then some combination of weekend schedules.
Yes.
Yeah. We have a question in the, as with an interest is not a question, if you're interested in the chat box. Hi, I want to know more about data analyst modules with full course description and learning outcomes. So maybe let me just post the URL to our landing page again. Then, so for Marisa, if you're interested, just click on this URL to go to the landing page and then click on the data analyst link. And there you will find out a lot more detailed information.
Associate course. Maybe I'll take a quick one just to answer that. So okay, sorry if I mispronounced. So for the ISACA and the IC Square courses, these are the official course curriculum that we are delivering together with the accredited trainers. The assessment is aligned with the external exam that is held by the vendor. So what you expect to get is that after completing the course, you will be prepared to take the external exam. Yeah, but then we will the certification that you receive will be for SCTP and will not be the official certification from the vendor. Right, so you will need to, if let's say you want to get certified, for example for CISA, even for series and CG, all these certificates require you to have minimum 3 years of relevant working experience in that security domain, so that you'll be accredited once you pass the external exam. For CSSP, you need 5 years of relevant experience in 2 out of 8 of the security domains stipulated by ISC Squared. So yeah, so that's why the external exam you have to take on your own, because external exams are not covered by SSG for funding. Yeah, and also you need to gain the minimum required experience before you can be accredited once you pass the external exam. Okay, hope that answers the question.
Yeah, thanks, James. So I think we have answered quite a lot of questions. If let's say you have any more queries that you are thinking about, maybe later on, you can still get in touch with our course consultants, not to worry. So I think thank you all for sharing. With that, we will wrap up this session and come to the end of our webinar today. So we hope that everyone here has learned something new. Yeah, we hope that everyone here has learned something new, and we look forward to hearing from you. Right. Thank you.
Thank you.